Hey everyone, Jen at Ink Paper Rubber here. I know this was kind of a last minute Facebook Live, but I found out for sure this morning that I was getting a couple of shipments in today, and I just know that probably when we're back in here on Friday, things are going to maybe get a little bit crazy, and I wasn't sure when I was going to have time to show them to you, so I thought we'd just go ahead and pop in and do them here tonight. There's not too much stuff, so this should go fairly quickly. Before we get started, while we wait for everybody to get on, I will just mention, as you may know, you may have already seen, we are going to be opening back up. Friday will be our first day, and we will have limited hours for the time being. Our plans are to be open Thursday through Saturday from 10 to 5 and Sunday 1 to 5. That means that if you are able to come in to pick your items up, then we don't have to ship them. We will still offer shipping. So if you need them shipped, go ahead and be sure and comment on here. Hey there, Tracy. Hey, Sean. Hey, Kelly and Jan. Be sure and comment that you want it shipped. The other thing we're going to do a little bit differently in this one here today is if you want things shipped, I'll go ahead and I'll still invoice you by PayPal. But otherwise, if you are planning to pick your items up in the store, I probably will not send PayPal invoices out for now. It takes me more time, and it's cost me a little bit more money than just running it through our regular credit card. So if you don't have your items shipped, I will not plan to send an invoice, and what you'll do is we will be offering both in-store pickup as well as curbside pickup. And so if you're going to do one of those two things, if you're going to pick it up in the store, if you're planning on coming in sometime this weekend, you can just pay for it when you come in. If you're not going to make it in this weekend, or if you want to do curbside pickup, we're just going to have you call during our regular store hours with your credit card number and take care of it that way. So that is our plan. If for some reason you're not going to be able to call or come in to make your payment this weekend, then go ahead and let me know that. You can comment on here or send me a message, and I can still send a PayPal invoice. But for now, I'm mostly going to limit those to items that I'm going to ship. Also going to say that I'm not sure, I probably won't get these shipped out quite as quickly as I have been doing other things. Tomorrow I have a very full day, and we'll just have to see. On Friday I may have time to get some shipping done. We'll wait and see. So anyhow, let's go ahead and let's jump in and let me show you what we got. First thing I want to show you is some 12 by 12 paper. This is the first 12 by 12 paper I've gotten back in a while. I wasn't getting it in while we were closed because it's just more difficult to ship, mainly because it needs a big box, and a bigger box generally means more shipping cost, and I didn't think that it probably was worth it to most people to pay the extra for just a couple sheets of paper. But we have gotten it back in again, and so again, this may not be the best thing to ship, but I wanted to show you what we have. So if you're going to be able to come in, then we can you can check it out when you're here. The first one we have is a cute one. It's new paper from Photoplay, and this one is called Busy Bee, and you can see on this side it has the honeycomb pattern, and then it has all these great bees on the other side. Sorry for the glare, I'm running behind today. I haven't even taken these out of the package. The other 12 by 12 paper that I got in is from the Carta Flora number 3 line. And if you watched our Facebook Live on Saturday, I had some of the 6 by 6 pads in, and those were very popular. They sold out right away, so I'm going to work on getting more in. But I went ahead and got in some of the 12 by 12 papers. This is just a really pretty line. And so we have some of the 12 by 12 papers in that line. I like how one side is kind of just a tone-on-tone print, and then the other one has a more colors in it. I really like the colors in this line. I think you guys did too, because as I said, that paper was really popular. So now we have in some of the 12 by 12 papers from that. This is the 3 by 4 journaling cards. Really like these a lot. And then here is the last one. I love that side of it, and then here is the other side of it. So that's just some 12 by 12 papers that we got in. A few other miscellaneous items that we got in. The first one is some new Alexandra Renke washi tape. This one is called Cherries, and this is $5, and it is 10 millimeters wide, and it is 30 millimeters wide, and I think it's 10 meters long. So that is the Cherries washi tape. That is $5. We also got in some cute gnome things. Those continue to be popular. This is a die set from Cottage Cuts. This is the Flower Power Tomty. This is $21.50. And as you can see, you get all these different little pieces of dies here so that you can build your little gnome holding flowers, holding a flower pot. We have signs, all these little things, pieces down here would be great on a lot of other things as well, not just with these little gnomes. So this is the flower pot, or the Flower Power gnomes, $21.50. And we also have this one here, which is the Gardening Tomty. I'm assuming that must be gnome in maybe some kind of Scandinavian language. But again, this one has all different pieces and parts to let you build up your little scene. I love those little flowers. Those would be great on a lot of different things. And this one is also $21.50. Also got in a stamp set from Stampendous. I haven't been getting much in from Stampendous because they currently are not able to ship, but my distributor did have a few things, and I thought this one was really cute. This is called Pool Gnomes. It is a clear stamp set. It is $15, and you can see you have all these pieces so that you can build a really fun little scene with the gnomes. Here they're hanging out on the edge of the pool or in their floaties. I love it. You've got the slide and the waterfall. Some really great scenes that you can build with that. That is the Gnome Pool stamp set, and it is $15. Also got back in, this was one of Tim's stamp sets from earlier this year. It is the Field Notes stamp set. It is a cling set. It is $30, and all of these different bits and pieces are individual stamps. So many fun components on this stamp set to use for all different kinds of things. So that is the Field Notes stamp set, and it is $30. And lastly, we got in some new decorative tissue paper. This is from Prima. It is designed by Finnabair, and you get 6 sheets in each one, and you can see they're pretty large, 27.5 by almost 20 inches. And here you can see a little bit what the full sheet looks like. And so this is great for doing collage work. This particular one is called, make sure I get the right one. I'm pretty sure this one is Romantica. Why don't they put the names on here? That would be, oh, yep, there it is right there, Romantica. And this is $7 for the package. And then we also have this other one, which is called Secret Notes. There you can see a little bit what's on there, and it is $7 as well. All right, now we are going to move into a really fabulous new release from Sunny Studio. They have the cutest stuff and the best samples ever. I'm always so impressed by the samples that they have, and so I will definitely show you some samples when we get all done here. First of all, we have some standalone dies. This first one is the latest entry in their Frilly Frames die, and with the Frilly Frames die, you get 2 dies. You get an outer frame die, and then you also get this inner die that is not attached, and you can either use them together or you can use either one separately. And there's quite a few different dies in their Frilly Frame line, and they are all designed to be interchangeable, meaning that the inside piece fits with any of the outside frames and vice versa. So this is the newest one. It is the Herringbone Frilly Frame, and it is $26 for those 2 dies, and that is a full A2 card size. Next up, we have the Stitched Arch dies, and this one is $21, and this is a really great set. it cuts out the arches and it does stitching on both the inside and the outside, so you can use it to create a fun opening in your project that has the stitching around the outside, but then you also get this arch that has the stitching. But it's really great because not only can you use them for fun shapes, but you can see that it comes with this little hole die, so you can turn these into tags, and it even has the little tag tab that you can put on the top of it. So I think this is a really versatile set. That is the stitched arch dies, and it is $21. This next one is another stitched die. This is the stitched semicircle, and it is $22, and it works very similar. You cut out the semicircle, it has stitching on it. It also puts stitching around the outside of the opening, and you get 3 different sizes, and then you also get this cute little tag die in the center of it. And I do have samples of all these, and I think it'll make a little more sense once you see what they look like. Next up, we have some stamp and die sets, and first up we have a couple of layering stamp sets, and Sunny Studios does color layering stamps like nobody's business. This one is really fun. This one is called the Radiant Plumeria, and so this is kind of a nice tropical flower. You can see there we have the various layers for it. We also have a different leaf here that has layers, and then we have a couple of other here. We have kind of this fan leaf here. And another thing that I will point out, don't know if you can see it, I love it because these are all also numbered. So you can see here we have 2A and 2B, so you know that those two go together. Generally, the B color is going to be your lighter color, and you get darker as you go up to A. And the same thing is true with all of these. Some of these are kind of hard to see, they're hidden in there, but it makes it really easy to know what goes with what and what order to do things in. And there is also a matching die that cuts out all the leaves and the flower, and that set is the Radiant Plumeria, and that is $27 for the stamp and die set together. The next one up is also layering, and this one is the Potted Rose. It is $25 for the stamp and die. And you can see here you get this nice layering pot. There's actually 4 layers to it. And then you get this nice little rose and some leaves that go with it, along with sentiments. And as I mentioned, you get a die that cuts out the pot and the rose and the leaves. I think that pot is great. So many things you could use that for with other flower sets to add in there. And here is a sample that they sent us. You can see how beautifully that layers and how dimensional it looks when you layer all of those together. So that is the Potted Rose stamp and die set for $25. And you can also see on this sample that they've used the stitched arch and cut out that nice arched opening to frame their potted rose, and it has the stitching around the outside of it. The next set is called Sealiciously Sweet, and it is these adorable little seals having all kinds of summer fun. You can see they're at the beach and enjoying some watermelon. We've got flip-flops and a beach ball, a sun hat, and some sunglasses. And then we also have some great sentiments here. You can build your own sentiment set. Some little puns over there. And then we have dies that go with all of that. I also love here, you can see we have the little water splash droplets here so that they can be frolicking in the water, and you even have dies that cut all those little pieces out. You can see those there in the center. That is the Sealiciously Sweet stamp and die set, and that is $38. This next one is a great scene builder set for all kinds of things. This is the Tropical Scenes, and you can see that you get here what could be sand or water. You get some waves and some bubbles. Here we have some kind of jungle vines, we have palm trees, and then we also have this great underwater scene down here. That bottom is all a single stamp. And there are also dies that cut all of those out. That is the Tropical Scenes set, and that is $39 for the set. This next one is really, really cute. It is called the Savannah Safari, and that would work great with, I think, those jungle vines from the Tropical Scenes set. You can see the animals that we have in here, the elephant, the hippo, the zebra, the giraffe, the lion. We've got a toucan. We've got some trees and grasses and leaves. And once again, we have all different sentiment pieces that we can build up our own sentiment. And there is a die set with that as well. And that is $39 for the set. And here is a cute little card that they sent made with that set. And I want to point that background out. That was made with the herringbone frames, and it looks like what they did is rather than die cut, they used it to emboss their background. And then while it was still in the die, came in with some ink and sponged some ink on there to give it highlights. So that gives a really nice kind of basket weave effect to make a fun background. And you remember that with your background dies, you don't always have to die cut. If you have one of the kind of silicone embossing pads, you can also use them to emboss with. We are definitely having some summer fun here, and this next set is called Cruisin Cuisine, and you have a food truck here, and you can make it all different kinds of food trucks. There we've got hamburgers and french fries, we have hot dogs, we have an ice cream cone, we have donuts. You can see it's designed so that you can have those up on top of the food truck if you want to. We can even have a sushi food truck there. That's for you, Tracy and Sean. And then we have a lot of sentiments, some great puns. Frank's a lot. You're the burger to my fries. We've got their soy. There's probably, you can make soy happy, we're friends. Things about donuts, and we even have here some little things that we can use to stamp on our truck. And there is a die set that goes with that as well, and that is $35 for the stamp set and die set. And here is a cute little sample where they have made to make the little food trucks there. You can see with the hot dog and the ice cream and the hamburger. All right, just a few more. These are some little mini sets. They're always a really great value. The first one is called See You Soon, and you can see we have these undersea creatures, the shark and the octopus and a little fish, and a cute little sentiment there. And there is a die set that goes with it, and that is $14 for the stamp and die set. I also do have one just single of the stamp set alone, and that is $5. And here is a sample that they have used that on. You can also see they have used it with the tropical scenes down there for all the coral at the bottom of the scene. And then they've also used the stitched semicircle die to make that fun opening to frame their scene. The next mini set that we have is called Tea-rific, and it has this cute little teapot and a cup. You've got a little face that you can put on there, and then you've also got some little sentiments that you can build. You're a tea-rific friend, sister, mom, and there is a die set that goes with that as well, and that is $13 for the set, and I only have sets of that one. And the last one is great if you need to do anything for Father's Day, but also if you need to get some things to do more die cards. This is a great little set. It's called Tool Time. You can see we've got the hammer and the saw and the nail. Again, you could put a little face if you want on your saw. And you've got some sentiments here. You nailed it. Congrats. And for the best dad I ever saw. And the die set that cuts out the two tools and the nail. So let me show you some more samples, because as I mentioned, highly recommend that you check out the Sunny Studios website. They have such great samples, and they always show such a wide variety. So this is a sample with the Radiant Plumeria set. You can see how beautiful those are stamped up. I love it with all the leaves. Those kind of tropical leaves would be great on all kinds of other things. And once again, you can see that that has the center from the herringbone frilly frames in the background. And I'm not quite sure how she did it. It's possible that may have even made a stencil. Not really sure. I did not have time to go to the blog. Usually, she has all of these on her blog as well and gives instructions on how she did them. So that would definitely be something to go and check out. Next up, we have this Deliciously Sweet. You can see that cute little seal. And once again, you have the herringbone frame in the background. This is one that definitely could take a little bit more time because, well, there's two things. I can't really tell. At first I thought it was pieced in, but this again may be embossed and then did some ink blending on it while it was still in the die so that that die acted a little bit like a stencil. So I think that's really cute. I love those fun, bright colors on that one. Here is a sample with the potted roses. You can see how pretty they are, and once again, that herringbone frame in the background. It looks like definitely there they did some ink blending, made their own stencil, and did some ink on for the background, and also used the stitched arches to cut out those openings to frame their roses. Here is another cute sample with the Cruisin Cuisine. They've made the little donut truck, and I like how they put the 3 donuts up on top. That would be my kind of food truck. And here is another cute sample with the Deliciously Sweet, and I think that they have just used some of their pattern papers, and they've also used the stitched semicircle. You can see there that you could also use a circle die that just goes off the edge of the page, but you can see how those actually are flat on there, and you can see the stitching, I think, there across the very bottom of it. So that uses those 2 sets. And here is a cute little set with the Terrific set. They also used the stitched semicircle on there to cut out the solid semicircle, and I also like they used one of their border dies to create the little border at the bottom of it. And let me see if I can find, because there's another really pretty sample. Well, I guess that's actually the semicircle. I'll come to it here in a minute. Here is a sample with that tropical scene there. You can see going all the way across this long card. They have used, it looks like, the See You Soon set, plus some of their other underwater sets with some of those other sea creatures on there. And I wanted to show you here. There's a sample where they used that vine with their sloth set that came out last year. And I like this one here. They even used the palm trees, and you can see here, this they used for kind of a sandy little island to create those islands on either side of it. So lots of possibilities with that set. Probably what they did is they stamped it once and cut it in half and used it to make their scene. Here is a really clever sample using the stitched semicircle, and they've made that into a fishbowl, and they've used the seaweed and coral from the tropical scene set and the little fish from the See You Soon set. And there is a really cute sample with the Savannah Safari. I love how they're all stacked up, but wait till you see this one. This one, I think, is just using the dies to create this silhouette scene. I think that one is really striking. Of course, that beautiful background doesn't hurt at all. But just, I like because they give you different ideas on ways that you can use them. They don't all have to look the same. They can all look very, very different depending on how you use them. Here is another sample with the Cruisin Cuisine, where they haven't even put the food truck on here, and they've just used all the treats from it and created this cute little treat yourself card. Here is another sample with that Terrific, and this was done by someone that has absolutely mad coloring skills beyond what I could do, but I just thought that was really gorgeous and a really different take on that stamp. And finally, look at this with the tool time. They have made this little tool chest. I think that is absolutely adorable. And if you look at it, really not all that difficult to do. They've just made, just taken some paper. You could take 2 pieces of paper and fold it and put it together and then make the little slots on the front to tuck your tools in. And I want to show you because there's another really, really clever card that someone did. I think this was the same lady that did that last teapot that I showed you. I love how she used the nails to create the frame around there and also used it to spell out the word you. I just think that is really, really clever. So definitely go and check out their website because you get lots and lots of ideas for how to use the different sets. Okay, so that is it for right now. As I mentioned, if you want it shipped, go ahead and let me know that. Otherwise, I assume that you will be picking up, whether you pick up in store or curbside. If you want to do curbside, just call us when you get here and we'll bring your order out to you. If you're going to pick up in store, as long as you're going to come in by the end of the weekend, we'll just hold it for you and you can pay then. Otherwise, you can give us a call starting on Friday with your credit card information, and we will take that and then hold them until you can come in. So I think that is it for this evening. As I mentioned, opening back up again on Friday, and I hope those of you that are able to get out and about will stop by and say hello. Have a great evening, and we look forward to seeing you very soon. Goodbye.